Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse 1 here. Okay, so I had somebody ask me, they said, well, what do you do for meat? How do you, what do you store away, as far as meat goes? So I thought I would do a video on this, but first let me just tell you, today is Thursday, March 9th. It's kind of cloudy today. It's only going to be a high of like 30 today, so it's going to be a chillier day. But, so anyway, what I want to show you is some of the options as far as having meat put away goes. Okay, so we're going to start out with, I'll just bring this up one at a time. Here's a can of pink salmon. Okay, so you have salmon in a can. Another example would be chicken and dumplings in a can, obviously. Okay, then we have a beef stew. Okay, so you got a beef stew as well. Then on top of that, we have Vienna sausages. Now I'm just showing you one can of everything. Obviously I have a lot more of these. So, but I'm just going to give you these as example. Here's roast beef in a can. Alright. And here we have herring fillets. Okay. Chicken breast in a can. Another example, sardines. Now, one of my personal favorites, tuna fish. And I always get the tuna fish in water because when you drain off the water off of your tuna fish, you can actually drink the water and it's pure protein. So that's just a FYI. Spam. I don't know if that would necessarily be considered meat, but some people do call it meat. I think it's meat, but yeah, got spam. Beef raviolis. There's another example. Spaghetti with meatballs. Okay. Here's cooked ham in a can. It's got water added to it. Alright. Now, here's the things. Now, people are going to say, oh, well, all these things have a certain shelf life and everything like that, which is true. But as long as the can is not dented or swollen, the seals aren't compromised, then you're good to go. Now, back here's freeze-dried beef stew, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you, let me look on the back side of this one here. All right, Best Buy, October of 2046. So, I got a little bit of time. I'll show you on there. It's Best Buy, October 2046. Alright. Sweet and sour pork. Rice and chicken. Beef stroganoff with noodles. And this is lasagna with meat sauce. Okay. And these are one serving packages. Okay. So obviously it's one meal for one person. And I love the freeze-dried stuff because, like I said, again, Best Buy, September 2046. I mean, that's just a few years away. You got, basically you have a 30-year shelf life on your freeze-dried stuff. All you have to do is add water, and there's your meal. And if you've ever had these, they're very, very good. So, there's nothing wrong with having these. I love having the freeze-dried stuff. Because again, it's got a 30-year shelf life. You don't have to worry about rotating it or anything until 30 years from now. Well, if I'm still around in 30 years, well, I hope to be. I'll only be in my 80s then, so. But anyway, I love having these. The freeze, and the thing is, here's the difference, okay? Here's the freeze-dried. Total weight, 1.91 ounces, okay? The tuna fish is a 5-ounce thing. So basically, one can of tuna fish would basically equal 2 of these. These are so freaking light, easy to pack up, to put away. They're awesome to have. So this is my response basically to that person that had asked about what meat do I have put away as far as that goes. Now, what I do plan on doing, just so you guys know, eventually I plan on putting something right into the hill itself and turning that into a freezer Because once you get underground, once you're under the frost line, it stays a constant temperature of 58 degrees. So then basically all you need to do is you take buckets of water, like the 5-gallon buckets, freeze them, put them in there. You can use sawdust and whatnot as well. And you're going to lower that temperature from that 58 down to a freezing temperature. And you have yourself an underground freezer that you can put whatever you want, and it will last all summer long, obviously all winter long as well, because you just in the wintertime you just bring the buckets out, refreeze, and then put them back in. So it's a great way of doing it as far as, for the freezing goes. And now there was a tip that was given to me: when you're going to freeze buckets of water or freeze bottles of water or whatever, add a little salt to them, because salt water freezes at a colder temperature and it'll stay frozen longer. And that was actually right off of Boss of the Swamps channel. Okay, but anyway, I do plan on doing that. It's one of my projects that I have down the road here, to put in like basically an underground storage, cold storage, and freezer area. And that way I would have a freezer year round, not have to worry about anything going bad, and I could keep things frozen. Never have to worry about losing power, because you are your own entity. I mean, you're doing it all on your own. So to me, it just makes a lot more sense to do it that way. And so that's the way we're going to do it eventually. But here's a ton of different options. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. There's 18 different options right here on this table as far as having canned meat, and being able to have different meals. I mean, you got tuna fish, you got chicken breast, you got roast beef, you got ham, you got salmon. So sardines, mackerels, or herring fillets. I'm sorry, but there's so many different ways that you can get your meats in and store them long term. Like I said, the freeze dried is obviously the best way to go as far as if you're going to do something long term as far as storage goes. And that's kind of that's the best way, in my opinion. I like the freeze dried stuff, like I said, because number one, it has a super long shelf life. And obviously there's different brands besides Mountain House. I'm just giving you an example of what I bought or bought. Bought, I don't know. I don't even know if that's a word. I'm sorry. But anyhow, like I said, you have to diversify your food storage. You have to rotate your food storage. We store stuff that we'll eat and that we'll use. So it's always good to have different options of things to eat, and being able to have a variety. And because you would get real tired of like eating rice and chicken every day. That would get real old real fast. So having the different options to have the different meats that you want. Like, I mean, you could go over a week and not have the same kind of meat twice, which is nice. And it's one of the things, like I said, that's why I like the freeze dried stuff too, because if I'm in the mood for sweet and sour pork tonight, that's what I can have. Tomorrow I can have beef stroganoff. Then I can have a beef stew if I want, chicken and rice, and then the other one is the lasagna. So, I mean, there's always an option to have, the different things. Let me see how many calories this says. It's 14 grams of protein per serving. Let me see if it says on here how many calories, just to let you guys know. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Amount per serving, 240 calories, 70 calories from fat. So, like I said, there's one meal that's going to give you something to eat, something in your belly, some kind of sustenance to have. If it, like I said, and again, it doesn't have to necessarily be a worst case situation. It could be any kind of an emergency situation where you need to get into your food storage to cook, and like if you can't get out due to a hurricane, a flood, a snowstorm, ice storm. There's so many different things that can happen, especially here in the United States. I mean, but I hope this helps. I hope this gives you guys some ideas. Please let me know what your thoughts, your comments are on this video. what you think, what you would add or not have. I really like to hear back. I like the feedback. Okay, so let me know. And remember, guys, hug and kiss the ones you love every day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen. Life is short. It really, truly is. And tomorrow is not guaranteed. And remember, as you do this, it's one step at a time, one thing at a time, one day at a time. Sometimes it can be overwhelming, but as long as you stay the course and persevere, you will be fine. And that's what it's all about, really. Just being determined and not listening to the naysayers, okay? I hope everybody has a great day, and I will talk to you later. Prep Nurse 1 out for now.